Oh, hello. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can't, there's no way I could check in on you. Let me actually, let me type something in chat. Can you hear me? Once I get that confirmation, I think we can move forward. I know some things can hear me. Just don't know if everything can hear me. Yes, hello, Courtside. It might be just you for now. It's nice to hear you, or see you. No, neither of those actually. It's nice to have you here. Welcome to chat. Watching yay text-to-speech. I tried. I really did. There are a whole lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out. I literally was setting this up for the last 20 minutes, and there's a lot of things that I still don't understand, but hopefully next week it'll be way more more organized, I guess. I'll have a whole layout plan, but right now it's just a black box with the text on the screen, and hopefully that's good enough. I'm realizing how fast the text moves on the screen, and I'm suddenly very self-conscious of all the things I'm saying. Because it just appears in front of me, and that's really intimidating. But yeah, welcome Splotchy Inc. Welcome Courtside. Welcome Burning In. It's nice to see you here. Today I have a very interesting game that I'm so excited to read. We got 2.5 minutes to burn. If you are watching the VOD of this in post, if you're watching the YouTube video after the fact, feel free to skip this part. This is me just saying hi to everybody who's here live. If you have time, feel free to answer the prompt for today. What's your approach to writing towns in TTRPGs? For example, inspirations, or what do you start with, or what's your favorite town you've ever written? Things like that. Hello, RK Corey. Nice to see you here. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Is there anything else I gotta set up before we start stream? Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm looking around. I got my water. I have the PDF open. Do I need anything else? Oh, I think I might have to fix something on the next screen. But I'm so excited to make this text-to-speech look good. Right now it's okay. Right now, you know, it's nice and big and bold, but it's not exactly lined up with my layout. It looks okay, but it could be better. You know, when there's like something a little bit off the margins, that's the vibe I'm getting with these, with this text scrolling. I really want to fix it, but I don't have time today, and it's gonna bother me until the stream's over. So next week, hopefully, I'll change the layout a little bit, make things look a little more aesthetic, and it'll fit in with the overall feng shui of the screen. Just a little bit better, but I'm glad it exists. It was very, very easy for people who want to do this on their own streams. Webcaptioner.com is the easiest route to this took like 5 minutes for me to set up and 15 minutes to make look nice. So let's see. Facadeville was my favorite town. Facadeville, I see. Illusions covered the entire town, tricking everyone to believe the puppets and plywood buildings were real. I dig that. I like to look on Google Maps for things that look cool in real life. Like Shimla in India is a really inspiring town for building on top of a mountain. Ooh, I'm gonna check that out after stream. That sounds really good. Well, we got 5 minutes left. 5 seconds left before we start the stream. In 3, 2, 1, it is time to begin. Welcome for the people in chat. We are going to jump into the game for today. Welcome, welcome. I actually have to configure something real quick on Chrome, but welcome to the 21st game in the 99 more TTRPG series, an altogether different river. Now I want to show you Chrome, but I got to make sure I'm showing the right tab. Just let me... That looks good. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay. This game is called An Altogether Different River. It's written by Aaron Lim. It was free this weekend, thanks to Free RPG Day, which offered a bunch of really fantastic games, and because I wanted to cover it, I spoke to the author and they gave me their blessing, and I purchased it because that just felt like the right thing to do. But an Altogether Different River is a wonderful game about building a setting with your table. It is GM-less, 2 to 4 players, single session, 3 to 4 hours. It seems like a wonderful read, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting into it because, if anybody knows, I have a podcast called Your Rivers Are Wrong, and it's all about world building and storytelling and the art of making something in your imagination come to life. So reading this seems right up my alley. So I'm glad for anybody who's here to read along with me. The author, and I'm going to murder this name, but I'm excited to try. Aaron Lime? Oh, it's just Aaron Lim, but with different letters. I see. If you want to support them, you can find their game on itch.io. Is stream showing the stream? Yes, it is. They've written a couple of different games here, including Branching Streams, which I wanted to check out, which is a supplement to An Altogether Different River. And if you want to check them out, you can go to their Twitter page at the same tag, EHRONLIME. But we're going to focus on this game today, and I'm going to read through the description so we can get just a little glimpse of what this game looks like on paper. This is the preview. This is the warm-up. Let's read, shall we? It has been some time since you left home, but now it's finally time to return. To what, though? The home you held in your mind and the home you will encounter will not be the same. You are not the same. You can't step into the same river twice. You can't go home again. This is a GM-less role-playing game meant for 2 to 4 players in a single session of about 3 to 4 hours. It is inspired in parts by Downfall by Caroline Hobbs and Microscope by Ben Robbins. Cover and interior art is by Venessa Tang. You will need pencils and paper and maybe a deck of cards to pick randomly from lists. It is about a town, the people who have left it and returned, and the people who stayed behind. It is about returning home and grappling with what has and hasn't changed. At the start of the game, you will collaboratively build a town out of several elements. You will draw 2 maps for the town, one for the town then and one for the town now. You then create your characters and choose whether they left the town and returned or stayed throughout the period. You also highlight certain questions you want to explore through your characters and relationships. You will track this through a relationship map which you draw between the towns. Then you introduce and explore different aspects of the town and play through different scenes to flesh out the town and the characters, seeking to answer the different questions you have. You can look to town card prompts to add different aspects of the town, then highlight how the town has changed by picking an aspect and showing its form in both the town maps. Based on what you know of the town and its history, you can pick questions to form the basis of scenes between various characters to explore the town in more detail. Once you've answered a few questions, you'll move to end the game, even if you have questions left unanswered, as time passes on for the inhabitants of the town. There's a couple actual play videos if you want to see it in action, and again, you can pick this up at itch.io. If you don't have $10 to buy this game, there are a few community copies you can grab if you are financially inconvenienced. So, without further ado, let's read a bit about this game. So pumped. Okay. We've read these credits. This is a couple more names of people who have been involved in this project. And let's keep moving. This game, by the way, is a read of 32 pages. By all means, something you can read in an afternoon. And honestly, I dig that. I like when games aren't too much to take in. Especially one like this that clearly has its mindset on helping you build a setting. Okay. Let's see. To play, you'll need some blank sheets of paper as character sheets, and also a large communal sheet to draw the maps of the town in the past and present. You'll also need a stack of cards with the jokers removed as count cards and some writing implements. Oh, and this is context for where the game came from. I originally conceived an altogether different river as part of Homebound, an anthology zine that I produced in 2019 with the help of V. Hendro and Cecile Richard. Homebound was a significant personal project that collected games about home and going away, made in context of my move back to Malaysia after 14 years living in Melbourne, Australia. While the initial print run was made as farewell gifts for friends, it wasn't just a memento of my time in Melbourne. I considered the zine a sort of statement of what I wanted to achieve in designing games. To use games as a medium to express myself, whether it was sharing something personal or just about sharing my media obsessions and jokes. I didn't end up including an altogether different river in that zine as I couldn't finish designing the game in time, but I've always considered it as a sort of coda to Homebound. If Homebound was about grappling with my feelings about moving away from a home that I made, an altogether different river is about grappling with my uncertainties and anxieties about returning to a home that I know would be much changed. I thought I would be able to finish the game quickly, and it would be a poetic first game to complete after moving back to Malaysia. Things don't always go the way you think they will. I'm glad that I ended up pushing myself to make a bunch of games in 2020 so I could finally get out a first draft of this game, and for Zine Quest being the impetus to further polish and finish it. I'm also really thankful for all the playtesters who helped me enjoy the game, who helped me make the game what it is. Now you hold it in your hands. I hope it brings you as much enjoyment as the process of its creation has brought me. Okay. This page here is about boundaries and expectations. I imagine this page is much like many other games that we've read prior, how when you gather at a table with your friends, it's always important to ask what topics are off limits, what topics are uncomfortable. Discuss what kind of genre you want to enter into, the kind of space that you want to cultivate while with each other. And this is as simple as, hey, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Anything you'd rather leave out of these situations? And as such, these games are, speaking of past and present, and can become awfully nostalgic. We want to stray away from things that are especially painful if that's not something that you want to hash out at a table with your friends. In terms of setting, it says here, at this time you should also discuss what expectations you have of the genre and tone you are playing with. This does not have a default genre or setting, and you can make it cover anything from modern suburbia to urban fantasy to ancient mythology to far future biopunk. You can look at the game Siege on page 22 for inspiration and start talking about genres that players might be excited for or comfortable with. Right. Cool. Yeah, and this again mentions the most famous safety tools, lines and veils, and X cards. I've never heard of CATS before. The CATS Content, Aim, Tone, Subject Matter Framework. Never heard of this. This is interesting. It's very useful in setting up expectations ahead of time, as is the palette mechanic. I don't know what this is either. From Ben Robbins' Microscope to get alignment on what the game might feel like. Regardless of what tools you end up using, make sure everyone is in agreement and on board with the tools, and keep each other's comfort, enjoyment, and engagement a priority. Okay. The town, then and now. At the start of the game, work together to determine the setting of the game and the locale in which your town is situated. Each player secretly picks an element from the default list below, or makes one up, and then simultaneously reveals them. Ooh, you can also look to the genre-specific lists in the Game Seed section from page 22. Alright, sure. So, you know what? Let's see what we can do together on this. Anybody who's in chat right now, I'll take the first three elements here, and we'll work with those. I'll pick one for myself, but I'll keep that to myself until I have some results in chat. So by all means, anyone in chat right now, pick one of these game seeds, pick one of these elements, and we'll work with what we got. I don't know if we'll actually have an opportunity to be drawing or anything on this, but we'll see what we can get up to. Maybe I'll just pull up paint or something. Hello, DUTSSZ. Nice to see you here. Two people pick stilts. Come on. I need okay, heavy emphasis on stilts. Thank you for entering that in at the same time. I have machine, I have stilts, I have stilts. I'll take one more and I'll add one thing to it. It's actually really funny. Apparently stilts really stands out to people. Ice. Okay, so thank you for staying on brand. So the topics here are machine, stilts, and caps. Ice, and mine will be river, because that only makes sense to me. Okay, so these are the 4 ideas that we're going to walk into this game with. Based on the elements revealed, together describe the rough size and makeup of the town and the essential nature of the area around it. Don't worry if multiple don't worry if multiple players choose the same element. You can make that element more of a focus in the town. Oh, look at you guys. This is you right here. Alternatively, or if somehow every player chooses the same element, you can always choose new elements. Okay, I can speak some things into canon. Let's do that. If you guys want to add things to this town, by all means, you can be my fellow players in this endeavor. So if you want to speak things into existence, just type it into chat and we'll work on it. Spotchy Ink says, for some reason, stilts, ice, and river just make me think this town is like a glass of soda, but a community. Honestly? Who said machine? Thumper said machine, and machine isn't even on the list. It doesn't matter. It's on the list now. Hey, Neutromancer, what's up? So I'm going to toss some ideas into chat. I feel like an easy one right now is cold climate. I feel like that's pretty darn straightforward. Yeah, cool. Quartzite's on the same page. Cold climate. Why do we need stilts? What's the idea behind the stilts? Do we think that the houses are built on top of stilts, or do we think people just move around on stilts? Because we have this machine, and machine and stilts kind of work together. So I'm thinking that the stilts provide some sort of mobility, is the energy that I think we're going for here. So, machine, stilts, equals mobility. People, houses. The ice would. Yeah, that's fair. Severed carpet. I don't think I've seen you here before. The ice is too cold to travel by foot. I dig that. I'm immediately thinking of a walking mechanical town on tall, thin legs that it uses to support itself on the bedrock underwater instead of the shaky, floaty icebergs. I love that. Okay. Well, we're taking. I'm gonna pin this one. Yeah, let's hold on to that real quick. I like the idea of this is just straight up a moving town. Like the whole town moves. It's not just the people. It's not just the place. The whole thing moves. The floor is too. It moves too quickly. It's too cold. It's too dangerous for people to tread on their own and traverse on their own. So these stilts keep people out of the water, resting on top of the bedrock. The river and the ice flows beneath. And there's a heavy amount of technological innovation required to keep this town up and running, which means that there are a number of people within this town who are innovative and a genius in this aspect. That this has become the norm for them to be able to travel like nomads and such. The floor is anti-lava, exactly that energy. I love that. Yeah, courtside Howl's Moving Ice Castle, except it's a whole community. Okay, that's the energy we're going with here. How are we gonna... I'm curious how we're gonna do past and present here, but let's keep going. Discuss what elements of the town are timeless and immutable. As you discuss together, start drawing a map of the town together. Don't go into too much detail, as the town will be fleshed out later on during the game. Slow down and shift the conversation towards character creation. And play when you want to start describing any specific locations, residents, or traditions of the town, as each player will get an opportunity to introduce specific aspects of the town later. Cool. You can stop discussing and drawing once you figure out the very broad strokes and fill the rest later. What if I open up Paint and I just start doodling? Or is there like a doodle app? Let me see. What if there's something... App. Website where people share drawing. Maybe there's a place we can all draw on the same thing. If anybody has a website where like we could all doodle on the same thing, that'd actually be really cool. Aggie. Oh, I think this is the one, Aggie. Let me try this. Continue with that account. Wintry. This is gonna be a huge part of the stream. Let me show you what works here. New canvas. All right, well, I'm gonna... This could go really well or really badly. Let's here, click this, and then y'all can figure out how to doodle there, because this is just a palette that we're just gonna share. I'll note and be careful. You will have griefers and online RFAT if you don't curate who's in it. Listen, there's 11 people here. If one of you is a troublemaker, I'll just close it. I won't even put it on stream, so you can't like invade my stream or anything like that. Maybe if the final result is really neat, then I'll put it there. But we can work on things here on the side quietly, and I'll doodle every now and then to see what's up. Anyway, let's keep reading. And of course, on the doodle, feel free to draw whatever you feel like would be relevant to the town. It doesn't have to be a whole map. It could just be like little things in the corner. Totally up to you. So once you have I'm going to keep reading. Once you have the rough layout of the town and its surrounding mapped up on a communal sheet, label this map the town then. Then make a copy of this map on the same sheet, leaving some space between the two maps for your relationship map later. Label the second map. Wait, let me see if I can make this that's the max size of the canvas. Label this second map the town now. The town then will represent the town as it was in the past, while the town now will represent the town as it is in the present. Don't worry too much about the time period represented by the town then, or whether they all represent the same time period. The only important distinction is that it isn't the town now. Think of the town now similarly. Interesting. So there's very distinctly going to be two versions of this town that we're going to be examining the differences between, which is kind of cool. Each player then creates a character they will play throughout the game. For each character, choose whether they are returned or remained. Oh, that's sick. Oh, I like this. I like this. And choose options for your character. Then choose your names and relationships. I like I like people's cursors jumping around on the side, which is very funny to me. I'm just watching the doodle happen in the corner of my eye, and it's entertaining. A returned character is someone... Oh, I'm so sorry. And choose options for your character. Then choose your names and relationships. A returned character is someone who left the town a long time ago when it was the town then, but has just recently returned. A remained character is someone who stayed through all that time. You should try to have as close to even numbers between the returned and remained characters. You can use some paper index cards or the character sheet in page 27. For people still doodling, I made like 3 different pages. If you guys want to doodle separately, you're more than welcome. So like you're not all drawing on the same canvas. Yeah, and you're not interrupting each other. I'll just let this happen in the background. Remember, the themes of this for people who are doodling: machine, stilts, ice, and river. What we're talking about here in characters in relationship is that the cast of characters will be split in between returned or remained, which is half of the players being having left the town and coming back, and half of the characters staying there and experiencing the changes personally, which is awesome. Those who returned, for returned characters, choose one who carry with you. Oh, sorry. For returned characters, choose one which you carry with you and one which you left behind. An old sin, hope unyielding, a painful memory, a moment of pure joy and wonder, a bitter curse, words left unsaid, love that, a treasured possession, a rare gift, blood, bones, and dust, the burden of obligation. Write down why you left the town, the places you've been since, and why you've returned after so long. So these are characters who have been distant for a while. And for myself, if I were to write a character for those who returned in this sort of town, I feel like the reason my character would leave this walking stilt city is because I'm looking for something a little more stable. This town is clearly a place of innovation and change, constant change, as it seems almost nomadic in this harsh climate. And the moment I find some sort of mountain or bedrock cave or something that is just a little bit more promising than a walking machine, I'm going to stay there and hopefully just build out a life of my own that I can wake up in the same place every single day. Words left unsaid for this character who has since returned. It would be to my friends and family that I'm leaving behind on the walking city. It would be praise for their innovations. It would be an admiration of their big dreams to what the city could become. I could also not say hurtful things of a rift in the families or friendships within the city in search of fame and acclaim and progress. There's certainly things I'd be very angry about this city. And then things that I left behind, a moment of pure joy and wonder, things that I choose not to remember as I leave this walking city. Just a pride of the things that are happening. A moment of ingenuity and innovation come to reality. I think even if I were to play a character that moved from this city, I would still boldly and proudly proclaim that I came from it. That in itself is a moment of pure joy. I'm saying all of this knowing that all of you are just doodling on the side. So if I can, I'm going to see if I can pull up your doodles real quick. You guys are going to be on stream real quick. There's only a quick moment that you guys will see yourselves. Wow, look at that. That's incredible. Let me see if I can hide my bookmarks bar real quick. You guys don't see none of that. Oh my gosh. Here, let's try again. Wow. Whoever this blue one is, that's Splotchy Ink. You're doing great on this one. Then I'll bounce over to what this one looks like. Exciting. Oh, that literally is a walking igloo. I could see DUTSSZ is working on this one, as well as I believe one other person, two other people. And then these two are still blank canvases yet to be worked on. So if you guys have any more ideas, by all means, keep going. And then I'm going to pull away from you guys as you continue working on your masterpieces. Okay. Then choose one or more questions from the list below that you're interested in exploring during the game, and write them down on your sheet. You will have the opportunity to ask and answer these questions later as you play. Think of this process like bookmarking a question for later, which will provide inspiration for yourself and fellow players for future interactions. So, these are questions that I hope to answer when I return to the city. So it's things like, what connection to the town have I rebuilt? What grudges or debts have I settled? Will you help me recover what I left behind or keep me from it? Will I settle in the town for good or move on again? So these are questions that you're interested in answering during this playthrough. For me, I like this as just a general like thing I would like to answer by the end of the game, and what changes in the town have most affected me. I feel like these are very basic questions, but certainly things that I would like hashed out if I were to return to this walking city. Those who remained. So these characters are characters that have stayed in the town and seen all of the changes, despite all the changes happening. So these, choose one you've built up and one which you've worn down over time. A home and hearth, wealth and abundance, a bond or relationship, a community of people, barriers and walls, a strong hierarchy, a career or profession, a myth or legend, a history and legacy, a dangerous vendetta. If I were to play a remained character, one that I've built up as I've remained there, I think would certainly be a career or profession. The reason I'm staying in this walking machine city is because I want to be someone. I want to become something. And this is the place of innovation. This is a place of progress. Let me be here. And something that I've worn down over time, something that's gotten a little weaker, it's probably a community of people. I think that the Milwaukee Machine City is inhospitable to people. A lot of people don't see a future on this, barely a town, honestly. Barely a place to be. And as the numbers dwindle and my career continues to progress, I lose that sense of community and find myself diving into the work that I progress towards. That's what immediately sticks out to me in this section. And then a question that I would like answered during the game. Let's see. What is the most important thing keeping me here in town? And do you envy what I've built, or are you happy for it? I love how this speaks of a conversation between two players, where one person is left and one person has returned, and it's almost like a sense of seeking validation, of being like, you have been gone this whole time, look what I have done in your absence, witness it. You know, there's kind of an effort to prove yourself to the people who are returning. I like these two. I feel like they're, again, very simple, but very thought-provoking. I love how this is a very, very calm... Oh, it's a bear. I love how this is a very, very calm picture. And I could see, again, in the corner, people working hard on the drawings. Every few pages, I think I'll flash what's happening on our shared canvas. Let me do that real quick. I'm glad you guys are having fun. Let's see. Okay, we have palette 1 with the true walking machine. This is so intense. The second one has igloos. Oh, I'm liking this little this series of homes moving together in the corner. That's actually super sick. Right over here. And then here we've got this classic Baba Yaga home with the chicken feet. I really like that. And this is like it looks like a blimp. I'm liking this. It's got like a little ski to carry the gondola, and it's got this huge blimp aspect to it, almost bird-like. And this last one, full color. Dang! Whoa! Slow down there, Quartzite. You're getting you got whole mountains. I'm digging the colors. Oh my gosh, what fun! Sorry to put you guys on the spot. Y'all keep working in peace. This is I was gonna draw myself, but I'm like, you guys are clearly taking care of that. So I'm gonna bounce back to the PDF and let's keep reading. Okay. Names and relationships. After choosing your character options and questions, choose one or more names for your character from the list and write down at the top of the character sheet along with their pronouns and a brief description of their appearance and age. So, full legal name, personal name, clan name, nickname, secret name. False name, discarded name, code name, cursed name, the final name that adorns your grave. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. These are, I'm you don't have to do all of them, but I'm assuming you pick a couple of these and really work towards them, and I dig that. That's super fun. Okay, at this point, take some time to introduce your characters to each other and go over your character details. Take turns discussing and writing down on your sheets how your characters might know each other, a beautiful, crucial step that I recommend in almost every single tabletop RPG. Get your characters knowing each other before the game starts, before you start playing. It unlocks like a layer of depth that would otherwise not be possible if you guys were total strangers. It allows you to write the past in retrospect, which is wonderful, and you can't do that if there's honestly the first time you guys are meeting each other. A little bit of history is really fun. Each character should at least recognize and be aware of all the others. Yeah, that sounds fun. You might not have all close relationships. Each character should have at least one relationship with each other character. Yep, all good things. All good things. I absolutely recommend this. As you share your characters and brainstorm relationships to each other, you may get inspiration to change some of your character options, questions, or even... Oh dang, I covered over this. Give you a sec. Where is it? There it is. I covered over the subtitles. My bad. I'm reading the chat now. How would you draw a map of something that is never the same? I curse my cursor, imagining drawing with a ball mouse. Yeah, I only have a cursor. I don't have any sort of tab or anything. Okay, awesome. Feel free to make changes as you discuss until everyone is happy with their characters and relationships. And here's an example. So, build out the town, build out your characters, and build out how they relate to each other. Write your characters' names in a rough circle in the space between the two maps, and begin the relationship map. I don't know what this word means yet, but I'm sure I will soon. Relationship map. You could also use index cards or sticky notes to represent the characters. Feel free to also write your pronouns, character names, and any key character details in the relationship map, since that will be the best place to get a summary of the characters and their relationships. Draw lines between the characters and label them with their relationships. Leave sufficient space to cross out old content and add new ones later. This is so interesting. I don't think anybody's ever done this. I won't say anybody. That's very presumptuous of me. But having an active relationship table between the players is certainly a choice. And I guess in a game that is entirely focused on the dynamic between the players in this evolving town, it's incredibly important. And it would be really cool to look at in retrospect after the game is over. Draw a simple Draw a simple representation of a river that connects the map of the town then, to the map of the town now. This will provide a space for you to write down questions that become the focus of later scenes. Oh, cool. Okay, nice. Play to find answers. Okay, so we're getting into the active play time here. And I'll bounce back to what the map looks like in a few minutes. I'm interested because I have to tab out away from the drawing page to let the subtitles roll on this page, which is really funny to me because I won't be able to see what's going on that page until I'm very much bouncing back to it. So let's read this page and then we'll check out what's going on with the drawings. Choose one player to take the first turn. The game is played in different rounds, and each player taking one turn in the round. The first 2 rounds are establishment rounds. Interesting. During the establishment round, you can take the following action on your turn and then pass. Introduce an aspect of the town. That makes sense. Once you've had your first 2 establishment rounds, work together to name the town. Oh, we have to name the town by the end of this stream, okay, guys? Then move to an exploration round. During the exploration round, you can choose to either take one of the following actions of your turn on your turn and then pass. Show how an aspect of the town has changed. Ask and answer a question with a scene. For the first game, I recommend just doing a show how an aspect of the town has changed for your first exploration round. Once the exploration round is over, you go back to an establishment round and alternate between the 2 types of rounds until the game ends. Huh. So there seems to be a loop between establishing aspects of the town, like landmarks and nuances and places to be and sounds and sights and smells and things like that. Establish that, and then in the exploration round you get to target how it's changed from the then and now, so you get the active growth of the town over time. And I assume after you alternate between the 2 and you've sufficiently built out the town enough times, you can start doing scenes in the town then and the town now, which is really neat. Draw a town card from the deck and draw a town card from the deck and introduce an aspect of the town based on the card's prompt. A location, resident, tradition, or event tied to the town or to the characters. Refer to the town prompts on the next page. If you're returned, you introduce the aspect of the town as it was in the past. If you remained, introduce an aspect as it is in the present. Oh, that's cool. Because like the remained would know what the town looks like now, and the returned would only remember what it used to be. I dig that. Okay, let's see what aspects we got here. Oh, we have to draw a card. Let's just pick it random. I'm gonna spin my cursor and we'll go from there. Here. A local landmark or meeting spot. That's one. And then, here. The one day that everything changed. Okay. So if you guys have ideas of a local landmark or meeting spot and or the one day that everything changed, by all means, put it in chat. And while you guys type, I'm just going to bounce back to the drawings and see how you guys are doing on that. Okay, we got quartzite. Continuing this wonderful work. Oh, I can see the stilts happening on this industrial city. I really dig that. And the mountains, I'm assuming, are icebergs that are getting in the way. Cool. First page. There's a gun. I assume. How do you think I get a whole revolver? I'm digging this. Oh my gosh, I'm digging this guy up here though. It now has the 4 legs. It's got some color going on. You can see the buildings and the skyscrapers here. And there's like this crane in the background. I don't know what it's used for. Interesting. Next over here. I don't know how to zoom out on this. Oh, here we go. I see the iceberg home. 2 miles? 2 miles tall? That's a really tall stilt. 2 miles? Oh, maybe the town is 2 miles. I don't know if this is 2 miles vertically or 2 miles horizontally. This is just really nice. I just really like the color scheming. I like how there's like a raft here at the bottom. and a bunch of these kind of pseudo-futuristic homes that are happening here. It's like patchwork plus industrial. What is this? This is just like a bug. Oh, I can see the stilts. Is this like the city here? I don't know if this is like the Inquisition. I don't wanna wonder about this one, but this is very interesting. It's like an alien invasion almost. Or is this just like a number of different buildings walking? That's kind of curious. On this one over here, this one seems to be a little bit quieter. And hasn't moved in a bit. Baba Yaga's hut is still here. Bird Blimp is still here. And of course we have this. Cool. Thanks, you guys. So if we bounce back to the PDF, your ideas so far are... Old God Cthulhu says, I have to go, but hoped you like the Crusaders, and the one by Courtside is amazing. Thank you for the Crusaders. Cthulhu, I appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. Splotchy Ink says, a meeting place, the head, the tallest point, very rarely used to the cold wind, but gives you the best view. Ooh, I like if the peak is like a place to be. I really appreciate that. Severed Carpet says, ice fire monsters suddenly show up. That would be a reason to mechanize the town and make it very, make it protected against these very dangerous things. And I think it's not something in chat earlier. Let me see if I can peer back. Let's see. Thumper says they struck oil. Oh, an influx of money or resources? It's always a reason. That's always a divisive moment. Yeah. All good things. All good things. Let me pin this real quick. So at least during the stream, so you guys can click on it if you came in late. Okay, cool. So we have the peak as a meeting place, and we have a number of reasons why there could have been a very divisive moment in history, being the either an attack by monsters. I see Severed Carpets as a stranger. Splotchy Ink says the Fire Nation. Oil, sudden riches causing divisions. I could see all of this taking place, and these are all good onuses for stories, so I dig that. Exploration. So during an aspect of how the town has changed, if you choose an aspect of the town in the past, describe how that aspect has or hasn't changed through the years and what that aspect is like in the present. Cool. So and then the players, I guess, bounce through and start describing how things have changed in the town. So what I really like about this game, which I'm just kind of gleaning from the kind of tempo of this, of building and then rebuilding based on the passage of time, is a cool way for you guys, for players to approach world building in a collaborative effort, which I haven't really seen in many other tabletop RPGs. Sometimes I will, or sometimes I have in the past, bother a player and say, hey, you have a story, you have a town in your backstory. Do you want to tell me more about it? What do you think are the most important things about it? And they'll list a couple things, but it won't be necessarily very in-depth. It only kind of circles around their character, right? I could see this past and present thing being a great way to kind of outline the most important aspects of a town, and more importantly, the dynamic parts of the town. What is available to change, so that should the party eventually visit this place from the backstory, we can highlight how much the course of history has influenced it, which might be very, very fun. I could see the methodology of the world building in this game in particular applicable to many other games that rely on setting to establish the movement of story, which I very much appreciate. This here says here, describe how your character is connected to this aspect of the town and how your feelings about that aspect have changed through the years, or how you have changed in relation to that aspect. And then ask another player how their character is connected to this aspect of the town and how their feelings about that aspect might have changed through the years. And that, for obvious reasons, might be very different. And these questions that come up in the differences of your perspective of the changes in the town lead to scenes, lead to conversations, lead to role play and storytelling. And then you continue to update the town maps as you draw and write, which is wonderful. Okay, cool. And this is examples for scenes and questions. I believe I'll be wrapping up this this stream in about 5-10 minutes. So I do want to kind of focus on the most important parts here. But this is a great opportunity, as I say here, to choose a question. You would bounce back to the beginning where they have these lists of questions of things that you kind of want to flesh out or find out. To describe the growth of your character in this passage of time and kind of point them towards a future depending on how things have changed, or rather how things have stayed the same. Yeah, I am, I guess, curious how you would end this game. So ending the scene is here. Wonderful. Let's figure out how you end the game. Keep playing until each player has written at least one question and answer in the river, even if it is just an answer for now. You may keep playing even beyond this if you like, but end the game before you answer all the questions you have. I like this. They're like purposefully leave things open-ended. Once you've all agreed to end the game, write the remaining unanswered questions down in the river. Then, together, narrate an epilogue for each character and how they end up feeling about the town and each other. Linger on the changes that have happened both in the town and in the characters, and what changes might still be in store. You may take this epilogue as far in the future as you feel comfortable with. Then leave the town, its people, and their unanswered questions to the unknown future. Fold the map over and close this chapter. Ah, love that. Love that. A little bit of catharsis here. That's really nice. And these are guides, I guess, to teach people how to play. If this is the first time they're playing a tabletop RPG or this game, these are guiding tools. Cool. Oh, and we haven't really dwelled on it, but of course this game is game masterless. Everybody gets a player. I mean, everybody gets a character. Everybody contributes to telling the story. There's no real need for a game master in this kind of game. Variants and tweaks if you want to play this in different ways. Yeah, here. So this right here is kind of what I was saying earlier, that you could use this as a world building tool in general, not necessarily for this game, but for other games as well. Great. Lots of variant rules. Game seeds. Oh, this is fun. This is like an example. Return to the level 1 town. So this is when you come back to a place after you've saved the world, after you've leveled up, after you become incredibly powerful. You come back to a place where it all started. You've defeated the great evil, or killed the moon, or convinced the mountains to make peace with the seas. It's done. Wow. I dig that. That's very fun. And there's more of these examples. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 examples. And then this is a game structure. This is kind of an abbreviated version of the entire game. Which is neat. And a character sheet for yourself. The river keeps flowing as we do the same until the world's end. And these are the Kickstarter backers. What a nice game. I have friends who would absolutely love this. I have friends who would really appreciate just sitting down and building a place out and giving it a story and a character all on its own. It's nice to see this process written out. Like the concept of world building, oftentimes it's abstract in people's minds. It's hard to it's hard to find a starting point, so to speak. And it's not the same for every place. It's not the same for every setting or campaign. There's no real rubric, but it's nice to see this as like a solid foundational start. And even that is even flexible. Like, it doesn't tell you to start with the city or the government or the people. It specifically tells you just pick an aspect of the place and talk about how it once was and talk about how it is now, and then go from there. And I think, like, it's not even, I can't even use the word concrete because it's not like a concrete start. It's more like a fluid start, like a moving start, so to speak. Yeah, this is good. I totally think that if I wanted to play a game and the entire game takes place in a single setting or a single town or city, I would absolutely take players through this as a way to really see what kind of world they're excited to play in and go from there. So thank you so much, Aaron Lim. I appreciate this. Severed Carpet says, I also recommend Colossal as another RPG read-through sometime. I did see Colossal. Is Colossal out yet? Is it a released? Severed Carpet, tell me, is the Colossal a released game? Because I literally looked at that like 2 weeks ago, and I'm very curious if it's done. Because I'll totally reach out to the writer, authors, the game designers, whoever they might be, and see if I can really take that game apart. Because it caught my attention a while back, and I just forgot to really look into it. Another great RPG town building game is The Quiet Year. I've heard of The Quiet Year. That's a good one that I'll add to the list. Cool. And I guess I'll end the stream showing what the town turned into, if you guys don't mind. So let's see what the final results are. I apologize for people who are still drawing. It's time to close. It's closing time. Closing time. Start with the first one. Not too many. Ooh, the legs have colors now. Look at that. I feel like this is the town now. This is very town now energy, where it's like, this is what the town evolved into after things became very, very dangerous. Look at this little guy over here. Pleasant. This is them striking oil right here. This little drill. And then these are... Ooh, there's a second igloo. Wait, third igloo. Oh, there's a third igloo. 1, 2, 3. The igloos have increased. I'm loving how the town built, these pages build out as time goes on. It's so fun. This is like a drowning cathedral. Appreciate that. This truly is like a then and now kind of situation. This is stalwart and the same. And this is, I had fun drawing, but I cannot finish lol. This seems pretty darn good. There's no need to stress about this. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for the art. This is so good. Okay, I think I'll probably like save this once the stream closes, and I'll post it on Twitter, I guess, or somewhere. Unless you guys don't want me to. Oh yeah, the name. Splotchy Ink says SS Walking Winter. If you guys have a name for this city, feel free to mention it as I'm closing out. Walking Winter is very nice. I might be a little biased, just a little bit biased, as my YouTube channel is certainly named as such. Though due to the age, many have forgotten what the SS stood for. I dig that. That's some good energy. This is by the way, this is this is what's scrolling in the background. For the subs. That's that captioner program. Website that I'm definitely gonna work on by next stream. And yeah, again, check out Aaron Lim's stuff at their itch.io page. This is a wonderful thing, and there's also an expansion that I haven't yet checked out that I'm very much looking forward to. Check that out as well. Here we go. You can find it here. Let me see if I can spell this name out proper. I already messed up. EHRONLIME.itch.io. It's here. Read it here. These are all of their personal links. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a very fun stream, and it was very fun to hang out with you. Have a wonderful night. Stay frosty. Oh, click the little dot on the image on the first stage. Wait, I can't end the stream yet. Wait, oh, there's a dot. You can't do that at the end of the stream. Oh, gosh. Golly. Okay, hold on. First dot. Is a dot here? Click. Ooh. The townspeople were used to the slight shuddering, but after years of tweaking and tuning, each footfall was merely a light rumble, like one's own heartbeat. The wind whistles. Everybody's clicking. The wind whistles over the structure. The metal creaks and groans like those made by a beast, stretching tired old bones. Ratcheting chains pulled up the fishing boats, where that day to transfer their haul, the safety nets whipped by the wind and worn to the point where they could barely hold themselves up. Thank you so much. Oh, Aaron lives in chat. Hello. Thank you for doing the read-through. Sorry I couldn't interact more since I'm technically at work at the moment. Haha. It is so good to have you here. Thank you for the game. Thank you for the read. I appreciate you for dropping by. And for the rest of you, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.